Hey guys, welcome back to the farm. Hey, Arctic blast blew in Michigan, the whole Midwest, part of the country, most of the country's getting beat up with something. You see the terrain I'm dealing with. What happened was it was 35 degrees and raining a few days ago, muddy, ruts, and then this snow blew in. About -5 right now. We got about 6-7 inches of snow, but so see, it's kind of tough to walk out here. Underneath that snow though, it's not all that froze. So here it got kind of rutted, mixed in, so it's hard, but other spots you'll bust through, even though it got down and it was at one point 10 below, but we're doing all right. Yeah, I developed kind of a nasty cough. This silo, the day it blew in, the motor stopped. I was up there working on capacitors, trying to get it to work. Couldn't get it. Brought it down, unhooked it myself, pulleyed it, roped it down on my own, heavy 7.5 horsepower motor. Wore myself right out. I tell you what, I overdid it that day. I don't often ever say that really, but I'm starting to say it now. Got it down, got a hold of one of my brothers. They come in, it stopped at like 2 o'clock. Everybody was wanting to go home. They've been here since 5. It was starting to get real cold. I knew I had to get that down because the next day it was gonna be 10 below. Got it down, and I couldn't just drop it because I didn't want it to crush this conveyor. So I roped it down. He came in with the skid steer. Had a brand new motor in a box. We pulleyed it up because I hooked it around one of them silo rungs, and he just backed the loader up. I was up top keeping that rope and the motor. Got it in, grabbed it, walked it, set it on the silo and loader, bolted it in, wired it up. We were feeding that night. It took us 2 hours. I was shivering to the bone of the core. I didn't know what it was. I thought it was just cold, but get home, and the wife's wondering what happened. I had 103 temperature, and I thought I was done for. But I took some meds, and I was drinking a glass of water. She was making me drink water. Got up at midnight, drank another one, took a pee, 3 in the morning, 6 in the morning. I thought I was gonna be out the whole next day. Ended up going in 8 o'clock, business as usual, and I'm finally now starting to fully come out of it. That's because I had a woman at home taking care of me, for one. Kept me from getting dehydrated. So anyway, here we are, frozen tundra. I'm gonna come in here with the skid steer and bust this up. We're gonna see how my silos are working, how the silos are treating me. They've been doing decent the last couple of days. I'm gonna show you in real time how they're doing when we go to turn these babies on here in a second. That's what's going on. Let's go. Alleyways are scraped here and here. Cows are moving in quick. They're hungry. It's cold. Takes a lot out of them. I've got this water tank on a trickle, and it worked. We don't want that to freeze. So I keep it down a little bit, and all their body heat helps with that. But you can have that where that will freeze if you don't have it trickled right. I'm going to turn these lights back on. On days I don't open this barn up because the wind's coming from the southwest. That's over here. So I'll turn them lights on so we can see for the first half of the day. I'm gonna start filling this bunk up. This is a moment of truth. We're gonna try these 3 silos. I usually open this door just so I can keep a peek on these over here. That's your corn silage and grain. We're gonna see, and here's the kicker. If these silos don't kick on, I'm gonna have you guys go up there with me, and you have to put a jacket on, head up there. Hang on, I gotta get this slide out first. Slide. Stuck in there. Everything is a challenge in this weather. Everything. It's amazing that it even works when it's below 0 like this, but I've been saying that last few days. You'll have to count how many times I say that in this video. First thing I'm gonna do is turn this conveyor on. Just make sure that's gonna run itself. That's going. Belt feeder, hesitation, but she went. Okay, I want that them warmed up. The first thing I'll do is I turn the hay on. That's gonna pull the most amps, so I wanna make sure everything's off first. Here we go. All right, she's kicking on, it's coming out. Then your grain. I've got power, conveyor. She's moving, corn silage, here we go. Whoa, we gotta move in. Now what I'll do, I won't touch any of these. I'm gonna let them chew. See the grain dust? I'm gonna let them chew here for a minute. I'm gonna keep scraping. And yeah, they're already lining up, but that's a good sign. That's a good sign. I'm feeling pretty good about that. Now they gotta make a couple rotations before you know that they're really good. So we'll see how that goes. So the whole time we've been scraping that, them silos have been running. We're gonna go check on them, make sure they're still going, and then they'll be ready to be let down. These two sections don't freeze. I mean, it would take a lot of cold to freeze them. Below zero, still hasn't froze. I'll use the tire scraper. It's just easier on the cement, easier on everything, but got quite a good handle on all this. The two short sections are done in the center. Let's check the silos out. Look at that. No ether. No ether. Plug that on. It's been plugged in for 3 hours. I don't know how long you guys plug your tractors in, but look at that. Froze solid. It's amazing this stuff even works. Right on cue. I'm seeing lots of feed in the bunk. That's a good sign. I've just been letting it chew. See, I'm not even going to let this down. It's chewing. Well, maybe I'll check them. I might let them down a little bit, but you gotta, it just takes time. Everything takes longer in the winter because it's froze up there. Don't think it's not. I heard that bull bellering a little bit at me already. He doesn't like it when I'm in here commentating. I think I'm gonna have to get rid of him. I'm gonna bring in another bull first and maybe give him some competition. That might slow him down, give him someone else to fight with. Yeah, that works great. If it doesn't, then I'll have the other one already set breeding. And I'll ship the old red and white crazy Holstein with the ring in his nose down the road. Down a couple. Dad's already backing that spreader out, letting it warm up. I told him don't put any ether in it because yesterday I had it plugged in it. I couldn't believe it. Boom. Fried red. It's amazing what them block heaters do. Yeah, I'll let this down a couple. And yeah, he couldn't believe it either. He turned that key. I like block heaters. Grain. Look at that. All the alleys, everything's scraped. These girls are waiting for me to fill this bunk up. This bunk got a little, had a guy ask me, do I ever throw these bunks out? No, I don't normally have to. They're usually lick clean. That's part of it because I think I am underfeeding them a little bit. So I give them that hay bale to help supplement it, but they lick them right clean. I love that. Let's check these other 2 silos out. Moment of truth. 3 working, 2 to go. Uncover the end of this belt feeder. We'll be trying these 2. Man, it's brisk. Wind's supposed to kick up in the afternoon too. These next 5 days are going to be like this. So on weather like this, you've just got to take it. See, the silo gauges look good. You got to take it day by day, but also morning by morning. Guys with cattle, water, morning, midday by day, afternoon, evening. You rust it up because anything can happen at any time. We've got to put this slide in and carry that over. Moment of truth. First thing I'll do is I'll turn this conveyor on, make sure that thing's gonna go. Going. Turn that off. Number 2. Yep, and there's your hay. I hear it. It's moving. That's a good sign. Number 1, corn silage. There she went. Now we're gonna let that and chew on that again. See what happens. The girls are waiting patiently, hungry. That bunk's lined up, double-sided. Here's what you're looking at. A lot of guys ask me in the past, do I crank these silos up at night? What I do is when I'm feeding these, I primarily feed 98% of the time. See, I gotta hold this belt because it's so long. I'll just kind of rest up against it. What I do is at the end of the feeding at night, I won't let them silos down. There won't be a whole lot of pressure on them, what you're seeing here. So I don't crank them up. I just do that. I run them out so when it's cold, I make sure there's not a whole lot coming out. So they'll fire them. I don't like cranking them up. I've never had a lot of good luck doing that. Sometimes you can forget how many you cranked them up, but that's not normally the case. It's since if someone else has to feed, can generally mess you up with silos. I don't know how other feeding is, but with silos, every time someone feeds for me, it seems like, and I come back the next night or next morning, one's not working. So eventually I just said, I'm doing all the feeding. It's a lot of responsibility, a lot of work, but it saves a lot of headache in the long run. That belt feeder went down on its way back. Cows are lined up nicely, getting some chow. I'm gonna check to see if I can't turn them down just a couple turns. And we'll run this a few times. Then Dad's ready with that manure spreader right on cue. The frozen tundra. See, I'll hit this just a couple. This thing's reduced down, so when I'm turning that, that's really like only a half turn. And this one's not. It's a power cord. This is that new cable we put on. Sometimes this belt, it gets so cold that on this incline, the feed don't want to go up it, but it seems to be working today for some reason. That's a big plus. You know, I was thinking about these silos. They're working right now. Rare, not rare, but in this kind of cold, it's amazing anything will work. But if there is a weak spot, sub-zero temperatures, the cold will find it, whether it be in the belts, belt feeder, conveyor, anything. So counting our blessings right now, but I like what's happening. I'm giving these silos a second thought. I don't know if I'd want to be mixing in a mixer right now, starting them tractors up. And like a guy said in the past on this channel, there's just no easy way to do it. To feed good quality feed to these dairy cattle, there's no simple get rich quick scheme. It's a challenge in anything you do. Don't think it's not. All right, feeders are off. Morning feeding, first batch is done. Dad's got the spreader back in. We're gonna fill him up. But see how this barnyard's the one side's enclosed, but this side's it's open. These cows are tough. They got their winter coats on. They're looking good, and I feel like they stay healthier this way, as opposed to being cooped up in a barn. I know it's nice, but I tell you, they're all breathing. You can see it. That way, one in a barn don't get them all sick. Those are tough cows. Not all cows are created equally. These ones are on the tougher side. I can guarantee that. What I'll do is I'll get up here and keep my hands warm on this muffler. Dad's back already. That spreader must have worked. Amazing that thing even worked. Look at that thing. All right, we gotta go. All right, out of the skid steer team effort this morning, Lonnie, Jack, they're taking care of these heifers. They're gonna get the water going. You can see it's not an easy task thawing water every day. And he's got a heifer that's trying to lick him and take care of him. But we might end up cleaning one of these pens. We'll find out, but I hear water, so that's a good thing. Keep them hydrated. Another barn, successful water. This had froze. Kind of ugly, but it's a lot of breeze. Even with this door down, you see we had it kind of started leaking, but she's good now. My finger got a little cut, but it's starting to stop. But yeah, well, we got it thawed out. We're good to go. Moving on. Guys, wouldn't you know it, I just tried kicking these 3 silos on to feed. Top these off for the afternoon. This grain's not working. It's running, but stuck. Wind's kicking up. It's getting nasty out here, but it'll be calm up there. I'm gonna go up, and Lonnie's gonna be here in a second. He's gonna be on the ground. See what happens. And we're in. I grabbed a mask from the way up. I'll put it on when we start this up. That had to be let down. I don't know if I'll get that door in today. There's some buildup on the wall. This silo is actually built out of round. I battle this every year, but a little too cold to take that off. I'm just gonna have to get by. In 10 days, it's supposed to be raining at 40-some degrees is when I'll probably tackle that. But this blower I installed years back is an older one, so it doesn't have a lot of oomph, but we'll see how this works. If I have to, I'll take this door out here. Well, I don't know if I'm gonna get that door out. So we'll just see how it works. And other than that, the grain looks good up here. Looks like some good stuff. Just got stuck because it wasn't throwing it out high enough. Build a little pile right there. But I'm feeling good. I got my little exercise for the day. Got heart pumping. Let's call Lonnie. Tell him we're good to go. And we're fired up. Showing its way out real nice now. Getting dusty in here, but I feel pretty good with mask on. Go around a couple times. So I know it's gonna be fine. I'll tell them shut it off, be good to go. I had him shut down. Whew. Run around 3-4 times, looked pretty good. Usually it gets kind of stiff in here on the collector ring, but that was running smooth. I told him stand by. I may have to have him get the grease gun, but it's running too smooth. I'm not going to pump any grease in there because it could get too hard. and not run properly. I'm gonna get out of here, head down. I have to come up here next week, get this off the wall. Remind me to do that. Put that door in and take that door out. So a few things I gotta do next week, but I'll get it. Let's head down. Out of the silos, all systems go. Final feeding before night feeding. Want to make sure they got enough. They're really eating in this weather. They're about buttoned up in this bunk. I'm gonna switch over to that far side. Hey, corn and grain. Morning. How you doing, bud? How you doing? They're pretty well encapsulated out there, and the sun's popping out. It's showing signs, so that's why you got a bunch gaggling over there trying to sunbathe. They love that sun. That sun keeps them healthy. Yeah, we got to fill this baby back up. They've got her lick clean about again. But other than that, pretty good morning. Like you say, you don't know when one of these silos are going to quit, but we've been doing pretty good lately. So let's finish feeding. And we're switched over. Guys, good news. The wife just texted me. She asked me if I wanted to eat dinner early at 2:30. What we used to do kind of growing up. Mom, Dad, my brothers eat before milking. So she wants to eat before milking, which is two good reasons for that, or come out of that is, yeah, you're milking on a full belly, which is good. You'll be a little calmer, more patient anyway. You won't be hangry. But also give you a chance to burn that full course meal off. I'll take you home and see what we got planned for dinner. I'm kind of curious myself. We like to eat. You gotta work, you gotta eat, fuel up. Just like these cows, they're fueling up right now. Here they come. Check on the wood burner before I go in. See, she's smoking. Anytime she's smoking like that, you know she's running at a high temp. All right, and we're in. All in all, pretty solid morning. Let's see what these guys got going on. Grant's probably napping. Honey?
Hey.
Summer's greeting us. She's been sweeping and picking the floor up. How you doing, bud?
Refusing.
Give me a 5. She's a very smart little girl. She reminds us of Mom every day, some of the things she does. Everybody's dying to know what's for dinner, because I told them about the 2:30 plans.
Chili.
Oh, chili. Perfect on a cold day. My little girl. All right, guys, on that note, chili, and then milking. Lonnie and I will be milking tonight. No big deal. We got to power up, get warm. We're feeling better. So take care. See you next video. God bless.